COVID cases and hospitalizations have been surging here in Ohio for about 2 months now, and there are no signs of the spread slowing. So what are things like on the front lines of hospitals here in Northwest Ohio? I talked a short time ago with Dr. Richard Paat. He is part of McLaren St. Luke's internal medicine team and a partner of the V Project. I asked him what he was seeing right now at St. Luke's.
Our numbers, back in July, early July, we had one or two, then we peaked up to about 18, and now we're hovering anywhere between 15, 16, 17. Those are the inpatients. They're definitely in a younger age group, not what we want to see. And also we're seeing a lot of, in my practice, we're seeing a lot of outpatients that are coming in. And again, most of them are unvaccinated. We are seeing some breakthrough patients that are vaccinated, but they do quite well, and they're not the ones that are being hospitalized.
I know I was actually recently in the hospital myself, and I know none of these hospitals have an abundance of beds right now. I know it's pretty tight when it comes to space to deal with everyday procedures and illnesses on top of COVID. How are the doctors and especially the nurses handling this most recent surge?
Yeah, we've been dealing with this for a year and a half now. And obviously it's something that we thought would be well underway with the vaccines, and that's not what we're seeing. And it's frustrating. We're still taking care of the patients. Obviously we're going to keep doing that, but it's frustrating for everybody because you've got something that's preventable at this point, and every death, every hospitalization at this point is preventable. I'll be heading down to Louisiana next week for the hurricane, and I'm shuddering to see what kind of situation we're going to see down there because they have less number of vaccinated. So the key is to keep getting vaccinated. We're bringing teams out today into our migrant camp. We'll be vaccinating 65. We're bringing a team out to Mott Library on Saturday. Hope to vaccinate more there. And our teams are still hitting the streets 3 days a week, trying to vaccinate as many as possible.
You said you're going down to Louisiana to help with the hospitals there. A, is that because of COVID? And B, are you going with more people? Is this part of a group, or are you just going on your own?
We'll be working with Catholic Charities as a Hurricane Ida relief situation. They'll probably be next week.
Okay, and so what do you expect to find there, and what have you heard about the state of those hospitals that you felt you needed to come here from Toledo and go?
The situation down there is, they had a less vaccination rate and so higher amounts of COVID. The hospitals have been flooded with COVID down there. I was talking to one of my former students down there about the situation, and after Hurricane Ida, there are 3 of the hospitals there had to be evacuated. It's very difficult because the hospitals were already at high levels of occupancy because of COVID. And how are you going to evacuate somebody to another hospital that's already at 100% occupancy, and their beds are full also. So we don't want that situation here in Toledo. I mean, we're not at that situation, but we certainly don't want to be in that situation.
Remarkable that you're going to help. Last word, what would you say to people who are still on the fence about a vaccine, either for themselves or for their children, or who just refuse to get vaccinated?
Yeah, every vaccine out there is going to be beneficial in keeping you out of the hospital and keeping you off the ventilator and keeping you safe. I'll be heading on Saturday to Cleveland to my wife's cousin just passed away from COVID, unvaccinated nurse. That's not what we want to see. We want to see our patients safe. We want to see them, as healthy as they can. We want to see our community come back to the way it was. It's going to require vaccinations.
And Dr. Richard Paat, we're very sorry about your family's loss, of course. We send our condolences, and thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.